for us, we're off sequestered away from literally everybody. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we have to handle everything amongst the four of us.
Yeah.
Because the one person that has the walkie-talkie in our area, she may not be there.
Right, she's never.
She could be anywhere doing anything, and she's got walking around with the walkie-talkie. So it's like, okay, how do we get? And it's always use your phone to send a message and hope that someone responds. And you end up like, this Friday, I ended up sending like 4 or 5 messages. Like, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're supposed to do. We don't know what time we're supposed to be there. We don't know if they're supposed to have their first classes or not. None of us know. So when is somebody either going to come tell us or answer these questions in this message, and then we'll all know. But that's where the issue is and it's funny. It wasn't just me that didn't know. It was me, all the teachers that worked with me, the 2 that were there, and then the PE teacher, they didn't know what was going on. So it was like, they were asking me, and I looked at them and said, I don't know. I've sent messages. I have no idea how long you're supposed to keep them, when you're supposed to bring them back. And they're running around trying to figure this out. But this special day that they had was on the calendar since the beginning of the month. Why are they running around at the literally the last day of the month, right? They're running around trying to figure out how they're going to manage student movement and all of this stuff when it's been on the schedule the whole time.
Yeah.
Nobody thought to do that, and they complained about it. I complain about it. It's like, but we get all these emails and we get all this stuff, and it's like, but you're not giving us communication that is relevant and important to what we need to know in a timely manner. It's always, but we told you. But you told me this back in September. You think I'm supposed to go back to that email back from September to find out about next week?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, no, because now that email is probably essentially irrelevant.
Yep.
Because it's dates have changed, times have changed. Something has happened and you can't use the room and things have been shifted. All of these things, and you think I have a roadmap of emails for this one event that's coming up this week? I have that going through my email? No. So that means I'd have to be looking through all of these emails for the entire school year, which we get, one a week, essentially. All of these emails to try to find where the changes have been made incrementally along the way.
Yeah.
And everywhere we've been, communication has been like this. Mm-hmm. Communication has been this bad. And I don't understand why that is in all of these countries where it's like, how can your communication be this bad and you still be able to get things done? Yeah. And that to me just says that people are getting things done without the help of their management. Right. Management is not driving the bus, so to speak.
Right.
Management is just riding along. So everybody is, they're in the back of the bus and they're just doing it. They're getting it done. They're having the meetings. They're talking to each other and they're making sure it happens while the manager sits at the front of the bus acting like they're doing something when they're just sitting there. And it's like, nah, that's not how management works.
Right.
You have to, I am a way hands-off manager. Like, I will not micromanage. I will not tell you how to do your job. But in those moments when someone needs to step in, I am totally willing to walk into that.
Yeah.
And I do it. I do it all the time because it's like the manager needs to have that bigger picture.
Yep.
The problem is, I think in places where managers aren't really empowered, they know the bigger picture, but they're not empowered to change it.
Right.
So then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, this is what you have to do. And that's what people always tell us. That's what we have to do. It's like, why?
Yeah.
And why isn't anybody talking about this? Like, why do we have to do that? And they never get down to the why are we doing this? Why is this important? There was something. They had to take a final exam. And they were going to do it across the entire grade at the same time. So, because the classes weren't going to meet, that all 4 groups were not going to meet that one teacher that day. So they're going to do the test. And all the kids keep asking me, do we have to sit by list number? the number of where they come in the roster. And I'm thinking, what does it matter where you sit? Why is that important? So I asked the teacher, why in your system is this important that they sit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Why? Why do you make them do this? They're gonna hand in the test at different times unless you make them sit quietly after the test type thing. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, why do you do this? And they were like, we don't know.
I don't do it.
So then why are they asking me if they should do it? Well, that's what they've always done. But why?
Yeah, that's the thing that kills them, because we ask the why. Why do we do this? Mm-hmm. I need to know, because when the kids say, why am I doing this? I like to have an answer for them other than that's what they told me.
Right.
So I have never heard that they have to sit by list number. The only time that my kids ever sit by list number is when they go to the computer lab, the library for their Smarty Ants, and they do it by list number, because then they can keep track of the computer. If something happens to the computer,
right,
then they know which kid was there.
Right.
Like right after one of our classes, the librarian came up and said, who is number 9? And I said, it's this person. And she said, we're missing the USB from her computer. And so the child said, no, it wasn't there. And I had to move computers, remember? And she's like, oh. So they think it was a 6th grader who took the USB from the computer, because the 6th graders had been in there messing around before my kids got there. But that's the only time my students ever sit by list number is when they go to do with the computers. I never ever have them sit like that. I never have them line up that way.
I don't understand. Like that's what they do. They make them line up according to list number
or height.
How does that make, why? Why is it important where I am in a line when I'm walking from here to there? Why would you do that? Why would you try to exert that level of control? Why not just say, you need to stand in line quietly and walk through the school quietly, respecting the fact that the other people are having class. You need to move around in a way so that you're not disturbing, because we're doing this presentation thing this week and some of the kids need to dance. Well, they need a little more space. Makes perfect sense. Well, they can't do it necessarily in the classroom, not enough space, other people are doing other work, other parts of the presentation. So they go out and they're right in the little kind of courtyard area that we have. But I looked at them and they're all yelling and screaming and talking loud this far away from each other. You know?
I don't understand why they talk so loud.
And I looked at them and said, guys, you have on that wall, you have the rest of primary is over there, and you're yelling in their windows and doors. You've got people in marketing, they're up there. Why are you yelling?
Yeah.
Why are you yelling this far from someone else? And they're usually yelling their name to get their attention. It's like, no, you don't do that. That's not really good communication between you two. Right. One, that other person should be listening to you if you're going to call them, but also you should respect the fact that they don't want to hear you yelling, and then you have everybody else talking very loud because you're yelling, and then the people up there are getting just thunder from below, from you guys, and then they don't want you out there.
We actually hear your kids in our classroom. When they're out in the hallway, we can hear it.
In the hallway where? We don't go in that hallway.
If your kids are out in that section where you're talking about and they're being really loud, we can hear it in the hallway upstairs.
Like through the other classrooms?
Because all of our windows are open.
Well, like I said, it's hot. It's now warm.
It's not hot. The classrooms are hot.
Yeah, but
the outside is not hot.
It's hot to the point where everybody's got to open their windows.
Oh my gosh, my classroom's like an oven.
You know, that makes a big difference as to, you know, how sound is going to move around. And nobody has taught these kids to respect the fact that there are other people around them that need to do work or need to get something done. They haven't taught them that, which I don't understand how you get to 6th grade and nobody's taught you the fact that there's a room next to you. Like, maybe you shouldn't, like, because on our floor, there's a door. And for a long time, those kids didn't realize that it was first graders on the other side of that door.
What?
Yeah. So you have a 6th grade class,
Yeah.
but on the opposite side, it's a 6th grade, then a 1st grade, and a 1st grade.
Yeah.
Or I think it's just one 1st grade, whatever.
No, it's 2.
So you got those doors. But on my side, it just looks like 2 doors that are totally frosted out. You can't see through any of it. But there's nothing on it to say what it is. And it's like, guys, why are you messing with that door? Why are you jingling it? Why are you trying to open? Why are you doing that? They're on the other side teaching. They're on the other side doing work. Why are you doing this? And they were like, oh, we didn't know where that door went. It's like, but who's next to your classroom? Who's right next to it? It's like they never even thought about it. And that lack of respect it's so funny because I don't understand how you can have such a lack of respect but always be talking about respect.
They don't have any idea what it means.
Yeah, they're not knowing what it means. And I asked this question this week. How is it that and I asked it to a teacher, not the students, but you're coming from a Catholic country, but the students don't know the basic tenets of the religion that they are a part of.
Yeah. I was invited
Morality and all of that stuff. If you want to find the Traveling Farrs on the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify,
Google,
or the Google Play, you can find us at The Traveling Farrs. If you like the Twitter and the Instagram, send us messages at Traveling Farrs. If you like email, travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in Blueberry. Say goodbye to the people. Say goodbye to the people.
bye.